Hey everybody, and welcome to day number 29 and 30 of the New England farmhouse renovation. I'm still doubling this up because we have been crazy busy over here at the farmhouse. Everybody's been over here helping out. My father-in-law, Big Lou's been helping out. Liz has been helping out. She's been actually tackling a lot of the painting. And I'm happy to report that the kitchen here that we're standing in is 90% done. So now we got the bathroom done, and I'm gonna say we got the kitchen done, because the only thing left we have to do here in the kitchen is we just have to sand and stain this floor. But we're not gonna do that until after we get the new floor in the rest of the house. Now, if you remember, the floor in the original house was great wide barn boards, and it was a little bit unlevel, to say the least. And so we did level the floor in the dining room, but we're gonna leave the rest of the floors in the rest of the houses, even though they have some curves and waves to them, we'll say. But we're gonna take and we're gonna put new barn board all over it. We found a great place here in Massachusetts. It's a sawmill, and they actually cut that same wide barn board. And so we're gonna grab that, and along with those square cut nails that are true to the 1880s style, we're gonna put in a brand new floor throughout the entire house. And so we're waiting right now before we sand this floor, which was put in probably in the 1945, 1950 time frame, so that we can match the color of this to the color of the rest of the house. So even though this wood is a little bit different than the wood that we're gonna put in, at least it's gonna be all the same color, and so you'll get drawn throughout the entire house and you won't have any noticeable differences, which is the way that this was actually set up. Now, this had a much deeper ambery tone than the rest of the original wood floors did. The other thing that we've done here in the kitchen is we've got all of our painting done. And these cabinets, also from 1945, 1950, have all been repurposed. They're solid wood cabinets. All of the catches still catch on them, and aside from the hardware, which was originally a silver, that was an easy fix because we wanted something that really kind of highlighted the color scheme we were doing in here, which is a gray palette instead of the very traditional beige and white palette. We're doing a gray palette. And so the black hardware, which was the silver hardware, just with some spray paint, we repurposed, and then there was a great savings right there. Now, these cabinets are dual tone, which is not something you see every day. So we have the upper cabinets, the same color as the wall, and we have the lower cabinets, which is that winter wash, and that's the color that we're doing throughout the entire house. That's going to be on the trim, on the doors, and the molding. So this is really a great, I would say, sense of what our color palette's going to look like throughout the entire house. And as I said, it's not that beige and white that you see traditionally now. It's in the gray spectrum, which really changes and has a lot of depth depending upon whether you're getting natural light from a window or you're getting the warmer tungsten light that you get from your standard incandescent light bulbs. Or who am I kidding? They don't even have incandescent light bulbs. They're fluorescent, or they're LED now, made to look like warmer light. The other little bit of saving that we did get was this refrigerator, which came with the house. We cleaned it up and blew out all the dust that was in the filter and the motor in the back, and it's been running fine. And we've got it all the way pushed here into our alcove that we created for it in order to save space in the kitchen. But the trick with refrigerators is not all of them vent the same way. And this refrigerator actually vents from the back. So if we were to push it inside that alcove, there's really a chance that it would overheat, and we don't want that to happen. But there's a very quick and easy fix for that, because that back of the wall in the alcove actually is underneath the stairs. And so I'm gonna drop in a little 10 by 10 vent here, and since it's underneath the stairs, which is gonna be open and exposed to the basement, we're gonna be able to get some ventilation in there. So once I get that vent in there, that refrigerator is gonna be perfectly fine to be pushed in there, and we don't have to worry about it overheating. So now, this brings us into what we need to get done. And we've got a huge sanding and painting party going on this week, which is going to finish up next week when we actually get in a spray primer and we spray and prime the hallway, and we're going to spray and prime the living room, and we're going to spray and prime the foyer and the dining room all at the same time, and we're going to get that done. So that's a really big and messy project. So being able to get it all together and then just have them come in with spray primer just to kind of hit our first coat on the ceiling, the walls, before the floor is in, is going to be huge, because then it's just going to be a matter of putting a textured paint on the ceiling, which we said we were going to do, and then putting that gray palette on the walls, and then some molding and trim. Now, the floor hasn't been done yet. We're going to do the floor when everything is said and done. As I mentioned, that's probably about a week out, but we found a great little sawmill where they're going to come and they're going to drop off or deliver. They're going to deliver all of those original big, wide farm boards. We can actually jump over into the living room just so that you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about, because these are the barn boards that are original, and they're probably original to the 1880s when this house was built. But as you walk in here, they're really sort of wavy because of the age of them. They've warped quite a bit. Now in here where we have the original barn boards, we're actually just going to cover over them with new barn boards and tack them all down. And then that's going to give us, well, it's going to give us another 3/4 inches of stability to it. Now over to the foyer, well, we've managed to get all of our drywall up on the foyer. Behind me there, you see that's the chimney with that great little 45. If we look over here, we can see that that's goes to the master bedroom right there. And all of those walls are done. We still have an opening in the ceiling because, well, today it's raining and we do have a drip, so there's not too much we can do about that. We've been getting quotes on roofing to have someone come in and take a look at that, and they've been kind of high. So I don't mind telling you that our quotes have been in about the $15,000 range to come in and to completely strip off the slate roof that's here and then to put on an asphalt roof. A lot of people are probably screaming and saying, no, don't get rid of the slate. But for the age of this roof, the slate shingles were actually put on top of, well, wooden shingles, and they've just deteriorated to the point where it all has to come up now. They've got to put plywood down, they've got to put a nice barrier, they've got to put all the felt. So at that point, doesn't make sense to have the extra added weight of the slate. We're going to save them because I think they're going to make a great well, stone floor at some point, and then Liz has got a great idea to really kind of use them as a painting surface. So there we are. This is kind of a longer video, but we had a lot to discuss. And 30, so we got 20 more days before we get to day number 50. Oh, we also got our window back in, which has been great for all our neighbors coming and going. So that's it. Check it out next week. As I said, we're going to finish this all off and we're going to spray it and get it primed. And then once this is done, once we get our floor in, then we can finally start on this staircase, which I've been excited about it for so long. I just want to get it done because it's going to be a beautiful serpentine staircase that brings us up to the second floor. And then once we're up to the second floor, then it's just some touch up there because there wasn't too much we had to do. All right, guys. So we'll see you all next week. And yeah, be sure to leave a like. If you have any questions, please ask. And yeah, thanks for checking.